Hey everybody, Troy Rangel back with his guitar. This guitar was actually given to me from my cousin Al back in the 80s, helped him move back here from Chicago, and he had this guitar and he gave it to me for helping him move. So always appreciate that. This little song is a song I called The Wedding. It's a song I wrote many years ago, a little instrumental. And just the story behind the song is that while I was writing it, the reason it's called The Wedding, I should say, is because while I was writing it, I got a phone call from a friend of mine, Dude Lopez, Manuel Lopez III, great musician and good friend, and he had called me and he was telling me he was getting married. And so when I got off the phone with him, like I said, I was working on this little melody, and so I've always called it The Wedding in response to his phone call, and at the same time thinking of the wedding in Cana when Jesus turned the water into wine. And all these years ago, I don't even know how long Dude's been married, but I've never told Dude because I always forget. Whenever I have my guitar with him or whatever, we play together or jam together, I always just totally forget because we just get involved with playing music. So this was a little song that I wrote, Dude, in response to your phone call, or I should say I was writing this at the time that you called and told me that you were getting married. So I gave it the title The Wedding. And it goes like this, key of F, use an F major 7 to start off with. So there you go, Dude. That's The Wedding. And basically, let's see, a little story behind it, with what I was doing with the chords. I remember at the time I was going through a book, like a reading book from Berkeley, you know, where you're doing the stuff like that. And it had chords above it, and I remember it had the F, the D minor, you know, and then probably like a G minor to C7 type thing. And then one time it went F, D minor, E minor to an A7. So one of the things I do is when I see something that I haven't really seen that before, going from the D minor, then up, I should say when you're starting with the F, then to the D minor, generally you're going to go to G minor or you're going to go to B flat, you're going to go somewhere else, but it was very rare that I ever seen anything go F, D minor, and then go to the E minor, A7 to get back to the D minor. So what I do to help me remember is I try to think of little exercises that I can do to help me remember that. And so all I did was I went, you know, F major 7, D minor 7, and then the G minor 7, C11, F minor, or F major 7, D minor. And so now I incorporated that, but instead of doing E minor, I did an E minor 7 with the flat 5, and then instead of an A7 with the sharp 5, then I do the D minor, D minor major 7, D minor 7, G7, and then I was at the G minor 7, and I could, you're trying to get back to F to resolve it, so you got the, you're at G minor 7, you can go to C, some type of C. Another thing that you can do is go up a minor third to a B flat of some sort. And so when I got to the G minor 7, instead of going to B flat minor 7, I made it a B flat minor major 7. With that little note in there. It's a B flat minor major 7, or some people call it a B flat minor with an augmented 7. That's the augmented note. So I just went back to the F, and then the bridge was just simply going to give it a little attention. I did an A flat diminished, G minor 7, C11, F major 7, 2 times, just doing the 2, 5, 1, and F. And then when you're at the F, instead of going to the 4, when you go to the 4 chord, instead of making it a major, make it a minor, and do another 2, 5, 1 now. So you're imagining that as a 2 chord, so that's 2, 5, and now the A flat major 7 is 1. And then I just went to there to the D flat major 7. And then I did a G minor 11. And then the C11 again. And then back to the 1, 6, 2, 5. And then for the turnaround at the end, hit a D. Then the last time, just make it a full measure. And then any type of run. And then F sharp 6 with the 9. And then half step down, F6 with the 9. So that's the wedding.